All right, hi everyone. A very good morning. I hope my voice and the video is clear now. It is. Is there
Yes,
any lag just in the audio? You confirm.
No, ma'am.
So video might have some lagging. I don't know why it is happening. I have a very different internet connection here. Video might have some lag, but I think if the voice is not lagging now, then don't worry. Just focus on the content, right? Bus, everyone. Okay, beautiful. Now, what is the topic that we are going to revise today is audit of bank. Now, in audit of bank, we cannot go selective by deciding कि हम we will remember only this much and ये वाला portion छोड़ सकते हैं. What is important, what is not important, everything is important. If ICI can ask 10 marks question in a MCQ from bank audit, so you please consider what is the message they want to send. They want to send कि before you go for articleship, you need to know the basics of audit of bank, because a lot of you might go into a CA firms who are impaneled as a auditors board. So every bank has a board like empanelment. In that panel, the auditors, there are n number of auditors who want to uh, you know who want to become the statutory central auditor of that bank, or maybe the branch auditors. Now, in order to do that, you have to fulfill some minimum criteria. Like as a CA firm, you have to fulfill some minimum criteria. Unless and until that you fulfill that staff requirement, you fulfill that partner requirement, numbers of year practice, a bank is not going to take you onto their panel. One thing for sure. सो अगर बैंक आपको पैनल में नहीं लेगा, आप ऑडिटर नहीं बन पाओगे. सो फॉर दैट, इसके लिए बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग प्रैक्टिस आपका मार्केट में होना इज वेरी नेसेसरी. नाउ, सो ICI bonds ki most of you are going to go in a CA firm, which is like, some mediocre or some like, thoda comparatively large firm or big four. They are going to handle the bank audit. Okay. So if they are going to handle the bank audit, basic, you should know. Everyone should know the basics of it. Kitne time ki, like, what is the governance structure for a bank? How many type of auditors are there? How many type of audit reports are there? Okay, if some person, what is the main source of income for a bank? What is the main source of income for a bank, guys?
interest.
Interest
Interest
income.
income, mainly they get the income from interest. And then after that there are some other charges, like some fees charges, like if they are bill discounting. You remember you studied about bill discounting in your CA foundation or in your 12th standard. So from
Yes.
bill discounted charges, then some other processing charges they deduct. All of that, like if they are helping you get a foreign exchange, then in that case they will deduct some fees. Or if they are issuing letter of credit on your behalf to your supplier, they will deduct some charges. So वो सब charges भी बैंक का ही income बन जाता है, right? But that is not their primary source of income. Primary source of income is the interest that they charge on the loan they provide. जिस चीज पे वो लोन देते हैं, तो आपको मालूम होना चाहिए कि बैंक का main source of income क्या है. What are their main expenditures? What is the bank main expenditure?
This give interest also to savings and
Exactly.
fixed
So the
deposits.
depositors who deposit their money to the bank, the bank is going to issue bank has to give a interest. Now, the interest that they give to their depositors versus the interest that they charge from the borrowers has a difference. Which is going to be high?
Different.
कौन सा interest high होने वाला है?
What they charge is higher.
What they
What they
charge
charge
from
from
the
the
borrower is higher. So basically,
borrower.
the difference between the interest that they charge from the borrower and the interest that they pay to their depositor actually becomes the profitability item for the
The
bank.
real income.
That's
Yes.
from exactly where they are going to earn the profit. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And then there are other incomes who are also which are also contributing to the bank's profit. Okay, beautiful. Now let's go through the anyone from the English batch has joined here today. I think Priya has joined, Pooja has joined. Yes. Okay, so guys, today, okay, cool. So today I am actually mainly going to take a revision and not the writing session. So if you wish to do the writing practice later, I have already told you that from 27th, I am going to take just your batch, the writing practice batch. So if you are willing to, do more of a writing practice, so you can tell me that I will continue with the writing practice batch so that I can take this batch, revision batch independently, because today we are mainly going to go through the concept. Today is the last day, last revision day for the Hindi batch, and tomorrow there is going to be the marathon. Understand, Pooja Priya? Mainly, I wanted to say that, like, don't expect a lot of writing in this batch. We are mainly going to recall the concept and revise it. Done? Okay, beautiful. Chalo, let's start the session. So, the basic you have to understand that banking sector is actually the backbone of any economy. Are they going to ask this question to you in the exam? The answer is no. This is a general knowledge. Obviously, you all need to understand how a country works, how a country's economy works, and then the banks become one of the strongest financial institutions that can help our economy to run smoothly. Yes, but banks are also the institutions who are going to take the hit of recession in the market. Anything goes wrong in the trade market, the recession in the world, banks are also going to assume that there is going to be a hit because of this.
Yes, ma'am.
Just give me a moment, guys. Okay, now there are types of banks, right? So there are different types of banks starting from commercial, cooperative, development bank, regional rural bank, payment bank, and small finance bank. Commercial banks are the most widespread banking institution. Like wherever you go, mostly you see the commercial bank first, right? So that provide a number of products and general services to and other segments of economy. The main function is to accept deposit and grant advance. So whenever bank issues loan ना, वो loan की जगह उसको advances बोलते हैं. Yes, so you will see audit of advances. So it is the advances that they have given to the borrowers. Yes, then rural banks, regional rural banks are the RRBs that are the bank that have been set up in the rural areas in different state of the country to cater the basic banking needs of the rural community. जैसे कि Punjab Gramin Bank, Tripura Bank, Allahabad UP Bank, Andhra Pradesh Gramin Vikas Bank, and all. And you know that, right? That these banks exist. The only thing you need to know it what they do. They cater the basic financial needs of a rural bank. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Then there are going to be cooperative banks. Now the cooperative banks, so for example, a commercial bank can be registered as a company. Cooperative banks, are they going to register as a company? No. Cooperative banks are the cooperative banks because they are registered under the Cooperative Society Act. So instead of following the requirement of Companies Act, they will follow the requirement of all the regulation of the Cooperative Society Act. So cooperative banks functions like a commercial bank only, but are set up on the basis of cooperative principles and registered under the Cooperative Society Act of the respective state, or it can be a multi-state cooperative society act and usually cater to the need of agricultural and rural sector. Example, Gujarat State Cooperative Bank or Chhattisgarh Rajya Sarkari. And you must have seen ऐसा बहुत cooperative bank आपको आपके भी so like locality पे you must have seen, right?
Yes.
Payment banks. What are the payment banks? Airtel
Payment Bank, Paytm.
Paytm. Like best example is Paytm. Because of the Paytm started giving people the opportunity to withdraw money. Like people can withdraw from Paytm. Like for example, suppose you have a credit card. Paytm used to give this facility. I don't know if it is existing anymore since the company is very poorly performing. But suppose a person has a credit card, right? And now he can use that credit card to buy anything in the market. किसी भी merchant को pay कर सकते हैं. But if people want to withdraw money from using the credit card, so what they used to do is they will register their credit card on the Paytm app. And from there, in Paytm app, there is an option of add money. They click on that add money and they select their credit card. So from credit card, they will add the money on their Paytm account. And then from Paytm account, they transfer that money to their saving account. This is like, it is working like a bank. It's like you are withdrawing the money from the bank, right? From a normal bank. So Paytm started giving the banking facility. So that is why there are new type of banks which are recently introduced by RBI. RBI said, no, you will have to follow the Reserve Bank of India regulations, because if you are going to act like a bank, you have to follow that. So they are allowed to accept restrict deposit, but they cannot issue loan or they cannot issue credit card. Yes. However, customers can open current and saving accounts and also avail facility of ATM, come debit cards, internet banking and mobile banking. Examples are Airtel Payment Bank, Indian Post Bank and Paytm Payment Bank. Now there are development bank. You know which are the development bank? See, for any bank, giving loan for the building of flyovers, building of huge, civil structures, it is not that easy because it requires a lot of investment. आप खुद सोच करके देखो, एक फ्लाईओवर बिल्ड करने के लिए, एक ह्यूज इंस्टीट्यूशन बिल्ड करने के लिए, लाइक सिविल वर्क करने के लिए कितना कैपिटल लगता है, right? So those kind, not every bank can provide that kind of loan to anyone ki okay, take 500 crores and build the entire complex. So there are development bank that came into picture, that has come conceptualized to provide funds for the infrastructure facilities important for the economic growth of the country. Example, Industrial Finance Corporation of India, Industrial Development Bank of India, Small Industries Development Bank of India. Yes, everyone. Now, very similar to what regional rural banks were doing, regional rural bank के साथ में आया small finance bank. अभी small finance bank का simple सा purpose है, all the marginal farmers जिनको even कोई भी इतना easily loan नहीं देता है, all the marginal farmers or the small and MSMEs unit, if they need loan, or any entity which is an unorganized sector. अभी like see, whenever you take a loan ना, आपको इतना documentation देना पड़ता है उसके लिए. So it is like for any person who is not into that organized business and they are just starting their business, they are not a organized business yet. अभी उनको finance चाहिए तो कौन provide करने वाला है? Because they don't have their last year का income tax का income tax return file. They will not have their proper registrations and everything. And अगर registration है भी तो still there will be a lot of उनके proper books of account नहीं होगा. So now in that case उनको loan कौन provide करेगा? So then there are small banks, finance banks have been set up by the RBI to make available basic financial and banking facilities to the unserved and unorganized sectors like small marginal farmers, as MSME, and examples are Equitas Small Finance Bank, AU Small Finance Bank. Yes,
Yes, sir.
everyone. Who is going to regulate all of these people? All of these
RBI.
RBI.
RBI. So now you know ki what type of banks are there into your syllabus. But don't you think whoever is the governing body, uske bare mein you need to know more?
Yes, sir.
ICI can expect you to know what is the responsibility of RBI. ICI can expect you to know what is the responsibility of RBI, what are the functions of RBI. Yes.
Yes, sir.
The functioning of banking industry in India is regulated by RBI, which acts as the central bank of our country. RBI is responsible for what are the three things? First, development and supervision of Indian financial system. What are the banks and the NBFCs which are going to be part of the Indian financial system? Unka development, unka supervision karne ka kaam is given to the RBI. Yes. Determining in conjunction with the central government the monetary and credit facilities, keeping in the need of the hour. Like country का economic policies related to monetary credit policies कैसा होना चाहिए, the entire financial system में, that they decide and they regulate the activities of all the banks. But instead of responsibility, if they ask you what are the important functions of RBI, will you be able to write these four?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
issuance of the currency, regulation of the currency value, acting as banker to CG and state government, acting as banker to commercial and other banks, including the lending institution. Sometimes the bank NBFCs, they need money. They go to RBI. But RBI also knows that they're in the days of crisis, these banks and NBFCs should not suffer. So they also need to keep some reserves. Like in case of banks, you must have heard that they keep the CRR, SLR with the RBI, right? Liquidity ratios, cash reserve ratios. Why? The only reason is in the state of crisis, agar aisa hua that all depositors come at once and ask ki boss mera paisa wapas karo, I don't trust this bank, you should have the reserves with you. Yes, everyone? Just have a quick look from top to bottom what you have studied. Whatever you want to memorize it for one last time and फिर आगे बढ़ते हैं. Just all right. Banking operations conducted only at branches. Yes. So exactly banks में अगर आपने देखा होगा, if bank has a head office in Mumbai and thousands of branches across India, the goal here is the deposit and lending का काम branch के through ही होगा. There is a lot of administrative work that head office do. So banking operations are conducted only at branches while the other offices act as a controlling authorities or admin offices that lay down policy, system, internal control, procedure for conducting the business in compliance with the statutory and regulatory impositions. Do we need to know more? No. सिर्फ can we understand this much? रेगुलेटरी फ्रेमवर्क, अगर एक बैंक है तो उसका रेगुलेटरी फ्रेमवर्क क्या होता है? बहुत सारे लॉज लगते हैं, बहुत सारे लॉज विल बी एप्लीकेबल ऑन बैंक. मेनली विल स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द बैंकिंग रेगुलेशन एक्ट, आरबीआई एक्ट, स्टेट बैंक का खुद का एक्ट है, स्टेट बैंक 1955, Regional Rural Bank 1976, Companies Act, in IT Act, obviously, extensively they work on the IT field. And then Prevention and Money Laundering Act. I have taken only few, you can also remember few, but understand that a bank operates in a very strong legal framework. Yes. So besides the above enactment, the provision of RBI Act also affect the functioning of bank. The RBI Act gives power to the RBI to give direction to the bank while also considerable effect on the functioning. Type of bank audit report. A good question. This is the question that I have like in the last batch also, like in every batch I tell that this is something that don't just think from the exam point of view. Think generally that you should know how many types of report that will be issued. So there will, I told you एक auditor का नाम बताया था मैंने initially, the main auditor of that bank, statutory,
Central auditor.
yes, statutory central auditor. One, this guy is appointed, then there are thousands of branches. Now for these branches, there will be branch auditor. Bank may, do you guys know that there is a concept of joint auditors?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Why? Because bank has, imagine the operations, so many branches across India. It is not possible for one CA firm to manage the entire operations, like audit for such a huge operation. So bank has a policy that they should have joint auditors. There can be multiple. Yes. So what are the type of reports that you issue? And बाद में वो report का content क्या है वो भी देखना पड़ेगा. It will be there in your CA final syllabus also. So there is one report that is called as the statutory audit report that goes to the CG. Yes. Additional reports. Yes, 299. Report on adequacy and operating effectiveness of internal control over financial reporting in case of bank which are registered as companies under the Companies Act. Remember, this is the topic we have studied under 610 ICOFR, internal control over financial reporting. It's a legal requirement from the Companies Act. One of these report goes for banks also for ICOFR if the bank is a Companies Act. Yes, and registered under Companies Act. Then there is something called as long form audit report. Do you have this in your syllabus, long form audit report and its content?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Then there will be a report on the compliance with the SLR requirement. Yes. Then there will be report on whether the treasury operations of the bank have been conducted as per the instruction of the RBI. Can you tell me so far how many reports we have studied? One, statutory audit report. In the additional report, there is a reporting on the internal control over financial reporting. Third, long form audit report. And fourth, compliance with the SLR requirement report. Then there will be report on whether the treasury operations of the bank has been conducted as per the instruction of RBI. Yes, I have read only 5 now. There are few more. There is going to be report on whether any serious irregularities was noticed in the working of a bank which require immediate attention. Either you work as a branch auditor or a central statutory auditor. अगर आपको कुछ भी serious non compliances of laws and regulation दिखा, or you find any serious like any fraud, suspicious fraud or alleged fraud in the bank, then there will be a separate reporting for these serious irregularities. Now, can you tell me, under Companies Act, do we have the requirement of reporting of this serious irregularities? Under which act? Under which section?
143.
There is a section 143, subsection
1.
subsection 12. फ्रॉड
Subsection
रिपोर्टिंग कौन से
1.
सेक्शन में होता है गाइस?
यही है मैम.
143.12. And
Yes.
there is a section in the CARO. There is a clause in the CARO.
11.
Clause 11 for the irregularities or mainly fraud reporting. But 143.12 may their reporting goes to, if the fraud is 1 CR and above, it goes to
PG.
CG. If it is
CG.
less than 1 CR, then the TCWG and audit committee of any company. ठीक है? I was just cross referencing ताकि आपको याद रहे कि कंपनीज एक्ट में भी रिक्वायरमेंट है. एंड प्लस 143 का पूरा रिक्वायरमेंट इज पार्ट ऑफ योर सिलेबस ही. चैप्टर 8. करेक्ट एवरीवन?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. There will be a report on recommendation of Ghosh Committee and Jilani Committee. Now, do you know what is Ghosh Committee and what is Jilani Committee? Well,
Yes,
basically, what recommendations they gave?
Malpractices and frauds.
If there is a fraud and malpractices, then the recommendation as given regarding those by
Ghosh.
Ghosh Committee. Jilani Committee gave a
Internal
recommendation regarding
control.
Internal control
Effective.
and inspection of credit facilities.
inspection of the credit system. I think it is a good MCQ question.
Yes, ma'am.
Ghosh, fraud. Jilani, internal controls. Done? Now these are the basic general knowledge question. Now whatever you study, relate this from your knowledge of all the standards that I have taught you so far. Bank audit approach. Right? Whenever you are doing, and suppose you are the bank auditor, what is the first thing that you got to do over there? Draw a audit
Yes,
plan.
ma'am.
Do you have this topic, everyone? Bank audit approach mein, you will draw a audit plan. An audit plan should be drawn based on the nature and level of operation, nature of adverse features, level of compliance based on the previous report, and audit risk based on the inadequacy and the breach of internal control and the familiarization exercises carried out. ब्रांच ऑडिट रिपोर्ट में पहला है, यू हैव टू ड्रॉ अ ऑडिट प्लान बेस्ड ऑन नेचर एंड लेवल ऑफ ऑपरेशन, nature of adverse features, level of compliances based on previous report, and audit risk based on inadequacy and breach of controls and familiarization exercise carried out. Can you all please remember these 4?
Yes,
Quickly learn karo, everyone. Done? As an auditor, can we now understand the control environment at the bank?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me control environment is the component of what? Control environment किसका component होता है?
In,
Internal.
Internal
control.
control का. First component itself is the
Control environment.
control environment. Perfect. Now, under the control environment, you gotta ask some questions. The following are the certain common questions and steps which have been kept in mind while undertaking and performing the controlling activities, right? You have to ask certain questions. So, first of all, whenever you go to a branch or whenever you are in the, like, whenever you go to any branch for the audit, first understand who performs the control and does that person has the knowledge and authority to perform the control, who is actually performing. Now, because you did chapter 5 already, like, purchase process, sales process, do you understand exactly control points क्या होते हैं? How entity does those employ those control activities है जिसके basis पर controls maintain होते हैं organization पे? All of you understand that? Okay, so exactly you have to, now this time you are not doing any company, like any company's audit who produces goods. This time you are going into a service organization. Bank is a service organization. They provide services. So वहां पर भी जाके सवाल, हमारा गेम तो वही रहने वाला ना. We are going to follow the same game plan. Only the product is changing. No, this time it is not a product, it is a service and it is a banking service. But सवाल तो वही रहेंगे. Who is performing the control and whether that the person who is performing the control has knowledge and authority to perform the control. Yes. Second, what is the evidence available to demonstrate or prove that the control is performed? You obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence about the controls by doing what? What is the further audit procedure? What is the FAP for controls, guys?
Substantive audit procedure.
Substantive procedure.
Arre, for control is performed, what is the procedure you are going to apply?
Test of control.
Of control.
Test of controls, right? So exactly you are doing. You have to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence so that you can prove कि भाई हाँ actually controls were performed. Correct? What is the frequency of these, when and what is the frequency of this control being performed? You are going to ask when these controls are performed and at what frequency. Yes, that means, can you tell me, should they perform the controls throughout the period and only for a specific transaction or only for a specific period? As a bank, throughout the period control operate होना चाहिए everyone. Simple है.
Yes.
So you check that because not necessarily throughout the period controls were performing. So whenever you take out the sample from all 12 months. Yes, and see whether the controls are performed or not, when the controls are performed at what frequency. Whether that frequency whether that frequency at which controls are performed by the bank is enough to prevent, detect, and correct the risk of material misstatement. 3 question. Pehla, who performed the control? Second, what is the evidence available to demonstrate that control is performed? Third, when and at what frequency control is performed? Can we ask the next question?
Yes, ma'am.
Where is the evidence of performance of controls retained? Essay 500. Audit trail. Can you tell me can you all open your audit trail book, audit trail note and tell me the 5 points of audit trail? I'll ask one by one. Go to your audit trail, guys. It's a good question of essay 500. There are 5-6 points to the audit trail. Yes. Priyanka, can you tell me the first one?
It is a documented flow of transaction to investigate how source of document was translated into account and posted in financial statement.
Correct. It is a documented flow of transaction to demonstrate कि how a transaction or event is translated into a journal entry or posted into the ledgers. Financial statement में कैसा गया, right? Riddhi, what is the next step? Okay.
Ma'am, it is used as audit evidence to establish authenticity and integrity of a transaction.
So audit trails are used as an evidence to establish the authenticity and integrity of a transaction. Whether एक transaction integrity maintain हो रहा है उस पे and authentic genuine transaction है या नहीं है, right everyone? Mayank,
Yes,
what
yes.
is the next?
It helps in maintaining record of system and user activities.
It
Like in
helps
case of
it helps to maintain the record of one.
record of system and user activity.
System and user activity. How many times I have entered into my computer, how many times I have logged out and logged off from the computer, at what point, how many softwares I have run in my software, everything gets recorded. So I will be given a user ID if I am an employee of a bank, and if they are going to trace that from this particular user ID or employee ID, how many transactions were done during the period, during the 12 months, and what softwares he access and everything. This is happening only because of audit trail. Yes. Jayansh, what is the next one?
It is a step-by-step record by which the accounting, trade details, or other financial data can be traced to their source.
Sorry, can you please say it one more time? It is
A step-by-step record by which accounting, trade details, or other financial data can be
can be
traced
traced
to
to
their
its
source.
source. So it is a step by step कि अगर आपको trace करना है कि financial data कहाँ, like when you see a financial statement, yes, financial statement contains the financial data, but you want to understand how this data is looking like this, or how the current asset is like looking like this. You can trace it back from there, like why did this amount look like this? Okay, let's try to understand in past 12 months, past 2 years, what are the transaction has been passed over here, and what are the source due to which, what is the invoice, what is the document based on which these amounts were actually booked into the books of account. Correct? Ghanshyam, can you tell me the next one?
Yes, ma'am. Audit trail act as a record keeper that documents evidence of certain event, procedure, or operation because the purpose is to reduce fraud or material error and unauthorized use.
So basically it acts as a log and the record keeping that documents एक भी event transactions और procedures कैसे हुआ है उसका पूरा log create होता है, and the moment a log is created, people will be like, oh my god, if I do any fraud, these people with this bank or the entity will get to know because मेरा log create हो रहा, my employee ID is being used everywhere. So to reduce the fraud and error and unauthorized use only, they employ the audit trail. Yes. Pooja, can you take the last one? There are two more, right? Pooja, you there? Oh, okay. Priya, will you try?
Yes, ma'am. Audit trails helps to enhance the internal controls and data security, and it can help in fixing responsibility, rebuilding events, and in thorough analysis of problem areas.
Can you relate it to point that it builds, it inspires confidence in the auditor? Do you have this point, that system with which the
Systems which have a feature of audit trail inspires confidence in auditors. It helps auditors in verifying whether controls devised by the management were operating effectively or not.
correct? So it will increase the confidence of the auditor into that internal control of that entity or the overall audit evidence लेने के लिए he will feel more confident now because he knows that for all the transaction there are proper logs available. Yes, Juhi, can you tell me one thing about the cost in audit trail?
The audit trail involves cost and not always in the terms of amount, but also in the terms of time.
In terms of time involved in tracing those transactions, yes, recording those transactions. So it is a costly thing. Not every organization is able to maintain the audit logs or trails so well. What is the topic we were studying?
Control environment
At the bank.
Control environment at a bank. Yes. Now, are you able to feel comfortable? You are able to relate to some of the points, right? ऐसे 500 का आपका audit trail, it is a good concept that got revised, right? Now, so you know who, what, when, and where. Then why is the control being performed and what type of errors are detected through the performance of the control. That means definitely there is some risk of material misstatement जो बैंक के management ने identify किया था. Can you tell me what is the second element of component of internal control? Second component
Risk
of internal
assessment
control.
procedure. Risk assessment procedure.
किसका risk assessment procedure?
Internal control का नहीं.
Entity का कुछ का.
Entity का.
Yes,
Entity's risk assessment procedure. So whenever you go to a client place, first you understand whether entity ने अपना risk assessment किया है नहीं किया. If entity has done the risk assessment, तभी वो control लगा पाएगा ना. So the moment somebody do the risk assessment, उसको पता चल जाता, oh my god, I have problem in so many areas in my office. Let's put the control. So that is why you have to ask why these controls are being performed. Means that definitely entity has identified some risk. So what type of errors are being prevented by these controls? And last, how these controls are performed. That is, what is the fourth component of your internal control?
Control activity.
Control activities. So how is the control performed? What are the control activities? Can this be bypassed? How the exceptions and deviations are resolved on identification, and what is the time frame for resolving the exceptions and deviations? Yes, everyone, make sense? Will you be able to handle this question in the exam?
Yes, ma'am.
Pakka? At least the points that I'm highlighting, learn those in each category, and then after that you can build the answer the way you want. All the blue points, first ones, highlight it and remember it for the exam point. Yes. Now, should there be an engagement team discussion? The answer is obviously yes. All the personnel performing an engagement, including any expert contracted by the firm in connection with the engagement, are known to be the engagement team. And we know that, right? Obviously. So the engagement team should hold discussions to gain better understanding of the bank and its environment, including its internal control, and also assess the potential of misstatement. All these discussions should appropriately being documented for the future references by the engagement team. The discussion between the member and the engagement team and the audit engagement partner should be done on a susceptibility of bank's branch to be materially misstated, and these discussions are ordinarily done at the planning stage of the audit. Now, do you remember in the audit planning also there was a topic of discussion? If you go to SA
Yes,
300,
ma'am.
there was a topic that engagement teams should discuss.
Yes, ma'am.
And under that topic, there are two topics actually. So one, the discussion among the engagement team, and second, discussion with the management. So we said ki without compromising the effectiveness of the audit, entity should discuss about the audit strategy and audit plan. Yes, everyone? Are you able to recall? Can you please go back and check these 2 points, engagement team discussion, in SA 300, engagement team discussion and discussion with the management?
Insight and experience of
Hmm. Did you get it, everyone? It's a very small topic.
Yes, ma'am. Will be.
Everyone? Siddhi, Riddhi, Priya, Pooja, Juhi, Priyanka. Where is Vivek, Juhi? Do you know? Can you all tell me when was the last time you studied bank audit?
March last week.
Hmm?
March last week.
Sorry, March?
March.
Ma
In the March. Last.
A month ago.
Almost a month.
So it's a while since you studied the audit of banks, right?
Yes.
Refresh as much as you can. Some of these points I will also take in tomorrow's marathon. Yes, audit of banka. So we will go through it again. So whatever topic we didn't do in the last marathon, we will do it again. So ये हो जाएगा आपका revise. Chalo. Now the engagement team discussions should ordinarily include the following matters. You all have this question. Engagement team के discussions में क्या चीजें include होने वाले हैं? Errors that might likely to occur. Errors जो last year identified थे. Method by which fraud might be perpetrated by the bank employees. What are going to be your responses to the risk, pervasive risk and any specific risk, engagement risk, pervasive risk and any specific risk? Do you need to maintain the professional skepticism? The answer is yes. So you need to discuss that with your team members. Suppose all of you are into the bank audit for the same client, SDFC Bank. Your boss got the audit of, as a statutory central auditor and branch auditor, he got the audit of all the branches and you all are doing the branches audit. You have to discuss this among yourself कि कहाँ पर error आ सकता है. Errors that are, which are the errors that are more likely to occur. Errors which you have identified last year में, so that you are alert कि अरे ऐसा है. Okay, so you need to maintain the professional skepticism also. अगर engagement risk है, pervasive risk and specific risk है, तो उसको respond कैसे करने का है? बैंक ऐसे कौन से तरीके हैं ड्यू टू विच द बैंक एम्प्लॉयज कैन एक्चुअली परपेट्रेट द फ्रॉड अगेंस्ट द बैंक एंड need to alert for information or other condition that indicate material misstatement may have occurred. That is the bank application of accounting policy in the given facts and circumstances. Can you learn these points again, guys? Everyone give it a moment and learn this point. किया लाइक जानबूझ के कल्यूड करके फ्रॉड करने को बोलते हैं परपिट्रेट करना. Everyone, please learn this point, recall it. Done, everyone? Yes? Okay. Why did you discuss all of this? Because of RD. Instead of RDX, we just did RD. It enables the engagement team to consider an appropriate response to misstatement due to fraud risk. Fraud risk के ऊपर कैसे? How are you going to? If there is a risk that employees can do a fraud risk, right? If there is a employees can perpetrate a fraud. Okay, then as a team, what should we do? How do we find out कि fraud हुआ है या नहीं हुआ? So it enables the engagement team to consider an appropriate response to misstatement due to fraud risk. Then it enables the engagement team to delegate the work to the experienced team member and to determine the procedure to be followed when fraud identified. Delegation of the work to the so अगर मैं पार्टनर है या सपोज आपका पार्टनर था, I was the partner, ठीक है, and you all are my articles who are going to perform the branch audit, and I know कि बॉस यहाँ पर there are fraud risk in this bank, so I will find out कि out of you who are the experienced people, more experienced people who can handle this fraud risk area well, I will delegate that work to you. Okay, then engagement partner may review the need to involve an expert because to address the issues. अभी fraud है तो हो सकता है you need an expert. So with R you are going to respond to the fraud risk. In the case of when the engagement partner will decide to whom he need to delegate the work related to identifying fraud, and then he may also consider कि boss मैं शायद expert involve कर देता हूँ, that is more necessary because there is a fraud risk factor. What do you say, guys? All the basic things of banking you are doing? Do you feel that it is complex? Now, bank has an income recognition policy. Simple. I'll tell you. Bank says if they, see somebody has taken loan from the bank, okay? Like for example, you are operating a bank. Consider you all have a bank, okay? I have taken the loan and I am not repaying. Every month I have to pay 1 lakh rupees. I did not pay. 1 month, okay, no problem. 2 month, okay, no problem. 3 month, no problem. 6 months ho gaya, I did not repay the loan only. Bank is like, no. This earlier I was considering okay, can you tell me if you are the bank and if you give loan to someone, what is that you are going to call it now? For you, it will be your advances. Where this advance will appear in the balance sheet?
Liability. Asset side, sir.
Asset side? Yes. So you are calling that your asset. The moment you did not get money for a period of 6 months, 180 days, you are thinking, no. Now let me classify that as into a non-performing asset. Because the moment the interest installment repayment or the interest stops coming from any account, you consider that as a NPA. But you wait for a certain time. You don't just classify that as NPA in the first month itself, right? There is a period criteria when you need to consider that as a NPA. Okay. So the policy of income recognition should be objective and based on the record of recovery rather than on any subjective considerations. Income from NPA is not recognized on accrual basis, but it is booked only when. So suppose I did not pay for a period of 6 months, right? Now, for 6 months I did not pay. Do you abhi, like for example, every month I was supposed to pay 3% interest. 3% interest, 3% interest, 3% interest. What is the method of accounting you are following? Accrual basis of accounting assumption. So every month bank is accruing an interest of 3% every month. Now after 6 months has happened, I have not paid a single rupee to the bank. Not interest, not principal, nothing. Bank is like, no, let's classify this as a non-performing asset. The moment you classify something as non-performing asset, इसके बाद accrual system गया भाड़ में. Record incomes only on cash basis,
Cash basis.
realization basis. Yes, everyone? Because there is no, see, income, when you say accrual basis pe you will record the income, you are going to inflate your income side. And you know that this is already a non-performing asset. 6 months से पैसा नहीं दिया है, ये पैसा कैसे आएगा? शेयर होल्डर्स आर थिंकिंग, ओ माय गॉड, इतना इनकम है, वो इनकम रियलाइज भी तो होना चाहिए ना. जस्ट बिकॉज इनकम बुक करके व्हाट इज द बेनिफिट? आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस? So what is the income recognition criteria? What does it say? Policy of income recognition should be objective, and income from NPA is recognized only, is not recognized on accrual basis, but booked as income only when it is actually received. Yes?
Yes, yes.
Okay. अभी के लिए इतना है. Where do you find, if you are a bank, where will you find the format of your this balance sheet P&L? Schedule 3, Companies Act?
Section 29.
Section 29 of which act?
Banking Regulation Act, 1949.
Exactly. So there are two forms you have to remember. Form A is in
And
which
Form
the
B.
format of balance sheet is given. Form B in which P&L format is given. So Banking Regulation Act में there is a third schedule. जैसे Companies Act में there is a schedule 3. Here it is third schedule in which there are two forms given. Form A, Form B. Form A balance sheet का है, Form B P&L का है. Yes. So subsection 1 and 2 of section 29 of Banking Regulation Act deals with the form and content of financial statement of a banking company and their authentication. These subsections are also applicable to Nationalized Bank, State Bank of India and Regional Rural Bank. Every banking company is required to prepare their balance sheet and P&L in the form set out in the third schedule to the Act and as near thereto as the circumstances admit. Form A of the third schedule contains the form of balance sheet. Form B contains the format of P&L. Guys, can I go ahead? We are just studying the general knowledge. You don't even have to revise this. Just remember it from here only, so that next time you are when you are revising audit or bank, you are revising something important. Correct? Payal, are you here? नहीं, Payal. Okay. चलो. Audit of accounts. Subsection 1 of Section 30 of Banking Regulation Act requires that the balance sheet and P&L of a banking company should be audited by a person duly qualified under any law for the time being in force to be the auditor of company. So whosoever can become the auditor of a company can become the auditor of a banking company. Yes, banking company bola. Not if that bank is registered as per the Cooperative Society Act, then Cooperative Society Act will tell auditor kahan se appoint hoga and who can become the auditor. But if it is a banking company, then they will follow the Section 30 of Banking Regulation Act says you have to follow whoever can become the auditor of a company, that person can become the auditor of a bank. The eligibility, qualification, disqualification of bank auditor, same as section 139, 41, 41, 142 of the Companies Act. Similar, yes? Now, listen to me. Again, a general knowledge question, but remember it now only so that you don't have to go through that again. As per the provisions of relevant enactment, the auditor of banking company is to be appointed at the AGM of the shareholders. Yes? Do they need to take the RBI approval? If the auditor is appointed at AGM for a banking company,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, RBI ka approval is necessary. Okay. There is an auditor of a nationalized bank to be appointed by bank concerned acting through its board of directors. अगर nationalized bank है तो who is going to appoint the auditor? The board of directors is going to appoint. So even if the board appoints the auditor of a nationalized bank, still do they need to take the RBI approval?
Yes, ma'am.
The answer is yes. What about the regional rural banks?
Approval of CG.
So bank will appoint the auditor, but then they need to take the approval of the central government. तो regional rural bank में central government का approval लगता है, nationalized and banking company में RBI approval लगता है, but the banking company has to appoint auditor in their shareholders AGM, and nationalized bank के case में board of directors will appoint the auditor. Yes, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Where are we going to determine the remuneration of the auditor?
Section 142.
Section 142 of the Companies Act.
Yes, yes.
But what about the remuneration of National Bank and SBI people?
Fixed by RBI.
Fixed by RBI.
RBI in consultation with CG.
With the CG?
CG.
Okay. Power of auditors? Same power as the company auditor in the matter of access to books of account, records, documents, vouchers, and etc. How are you feeling so far, guys? Does it feel like a lot of overload on your head for bank? नहीं? Smooth जा रहा है?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayank is like, I am not convinced.
मैम अभी तक तो स्मूथ ही है.
अभी तक smooth है. Cool. Where is her Siddhi?
She's there.
Okay.
Or only. Actually, my phone is overheating because if the video is on, so I've kept it off.
Okay. Cool. No problem. Now comes the important part. Suppose you have completed the audit. We have not done the audit yet. For audit, we have to read many topics are there now for the audit. How do you do the audit of advances? How do you verify the securities? All of that is there. But suppose we have completed the audit and we have to think about, okay, how we are going to make our audit report. So let's take the general knowledge first. The auditor, central as well the branch auditor, should also ensure that the audit report issued by them complies with the requirement of standards on auditing. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Does it apply only for the auditor of a banking company or nationalized bank, or does it apply to the auditor of all the banks? Cooperative society, regional, rural, Paytm, this and that. सबके ऊपर apply होता है ये requirement that they have to comply with the requirement of standards on auditing?
Yes, ma'am.
200 to 700 series? The answer is yes. The auditor should ensure, see, audit करने के लिए you have to follow the standards given by ICI. Then you don't have to think कि बैंक ने क्या बोला है, इसने क्या बोला. हाँ, बैंक ने additional requirement के लिए definitely we will have to comply with the banking requirement. But who is our godfather over here? ICI, na? ICI has given the standards on auditing. We will follow that. Done? Now, the auditor should ensure that not only information relating to number of unaudited branches is given, but quantification of advances, deposit, interest income, and interest expense for such unaudited branches have also been disclosed in the audit report. Now, you must be wondering कि यार ये क्या nonsense है अभी. Listen, क्या होता है ना? In case of bank, by any chance there comes a situation that there are 505 branches. But due to some reason, the 5 branches could not get audited.
Kansham, can you mute?
Kancham, please be on mute here. 5 branches could not get audited. So whenever, it's not about just bank, you know that, na? Even if suppose You do an audit of any company which has branches. It is in chapter 8, you have a small topic called as branch audit. Huh? So under that, just remember, in any company, whenever you are doing an audit, suppose that has particular branches across India, world में कहीं पर भी branches है या कोई division है, there is a zone of those branches, that company, or they have a subsidiary, joint venture, associate. अगर if you are the main auditor, principal auditor, right, and you come to know that some of the branches were not audited during the year, then in your audit report you get to disclose this, that how many of these branches were not audited, and not just the number of branches. What they are saying कि सिर्फ इतना नहीं बताना है कि कितने branch, not just the number of branches. You take out their total assets, advances, interest income, deposit. These are the measurement, and you tell that out of the total bank's asset, कितने परसेंटेज का एडवांसेस और असेट्स वर होल्डेड बाय दीज ब्रांचेस जिनका ऑडिट नहीं हुआ है, सो दैट पीपल को, लोगों को पता चले कि ओ माय गॉड, इतना ह्यूज ब्रांच ऑडिट वाज नॉट डन ओनली. आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग? To create some impact, to create the impact and to give the transparency to the users of financial statement, that oh my god, out of these 500 branches, these 5 branches are not audited, and 5 branch में से 3 branches are like, which are huge investments, huge deposits, huge advances, everything. Yes?
Yes.
Are you understanding वो line का मतलब क्या हुआ, everyone? Guys, you are not responding.
Check the
This is
maturity.
the general knowledge. So whether you have that in your books or you don't have, you just have to remember this, everyone. Yes?
ma'am.
Now, in addition to the aforesaid, the auditor of banking company is also required to state in his audit report the matters covered by the section 143 of the Companies Act. There is a list of items. 143. So there are many sections by subsections. So 143 1, 143 2, 3 till 143 12. There are a huge list of things that you have to comply as an audit. You have to report on as an auditor. So if you are the auditor of banking company, you will have to follow the 143 requirement as well. Yes, tomorrow we'll go through 143. Tomorrow in the marathon session, we will go through that again. Yes.
Yes.
Now comes something which is important from your exam point of view. What is meant by long form audit report? Now, in your syllabus, they have not given this in detail, but in CA final, when you go into CA final, you will have to study this in much more in detail. What are the things included in the long form audit report? Yes, everyone? So you just know that apart from the made audit report, there will be a separate audit report called as the long form audit report. Yes? Okay. Now, besides the audit report, as per the statutory requirement discussed above, the terms of appointment of auditor of a public sector bank, private sector bank, foreign bank, as well as their branches, requires the auditor to furnish a long form audit report. And the matters which the bank require their auditor to deal with in the long form audit report has been specified by whom? कौन बताएगा क्या देना है ये long form audit report में? RBI.
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 And all the statutory central auditors are required to submit LFAR to the banks by what date? Latest by
30th June of
30th June every
30th
year.
June.
June every year. So two things you have to remember. LFAR requirement will be prescribed by RBI. Report will be submitted by bank by 30th June every year to RBI. Report किसको जाएगा? RBI के पास पे ही जाने वाला, right? So to ensure the timely submission of LFAR, proper planning for completion of LFAR is required. And while the format of LFAR as does not require an executive submit to be given, but members may consider providing the same to bring out the key observations. Remember in your essay 230, you study about the audit documentation. There is a small topic of audit summary. What do you call that? There is a key term for that. Start with C. Completion memorandum. You don't remember? Completion memorandum is there now. So even though entire audit documentation you have prepared, but you will still prepare a small summary, completion memorandum. so that the next auditor can get the information about this. So in future the people can understand about that completion memorandum. So similarly, what they are saying is ki you prepare long form audit report, but long form audit report is going to be the long form audit report now. So still, if you feel that ki executive summary bana dena chahiye in which you will include all the key observations, so do that. Now this is just a general knowledge, yes. But can you go to the 230 and see what is the requirement of completion memorandum? Everyone, go to your chapter 6, look into the requirement of completion memorandum. You need to know how to do the cross-referencing from one chapter to another. And confirm to me once you have read it. Juhi, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
कैसा था ये?
एकदम जल्दी सा पेपर अच्छा गया, मतलब बहुत इजी था पेपर।
Sorry?
अच्छा गया मैम।
Good. When is the next
Yes.
paper? कभी है अभी अगला?
अभी 2 मई को है, फिर सीए के पेपर में भी है 2 पेपर।
So are you going to appear?
हाँ मतलब सेम डे पे नहीं है, आगे पीछे है। जैसे 9 को मेरा सीए का पेपर है तो 8 को बीकॉम का पेपर है, एंड ऑडिट के एग्जाम के नेक्स्ट डे एक पेपर है।
And
बस ये
कितना
2
दूर
है।
है exam hall from house?
वो तो 10 मिनट की दूरी पे है, ज्यादा दूर नहीं है।
So you just go there and sit for half an hour and जो लिखना लिख करके आ जाओ.
हाफ एन आवर तो नहीं, मतलब हाँ 2 घंटा में लिख लेते, 3 घंटा नहीं रिक्वायर्ड है, 2 घंटा ही जरूरत।
You restricted to 1 hour only. See, your exams are important. Unnecessary, then you will regret.
मैम मेरा एमकॉम का भी था जैन में, तो वैसे ही था उसका भी।
M.Com पास हो गए क्या?
मैम सेम 1 लिया था,
Sorry?
सेम 1 लिया था।
अच्छा. Now, have you done that?
45
Did you see completion memorandum, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Another general knowledge topic. Reporting to the RBI. RBI has issued a circular relating to implementation of recommendations of Committee of Legal Aspect of Bank Frauds applicable to all scheduled commercial bank excluding the regional rural bank. Can you tell me what committee they are talking about?
Ghosh committee and Gilani committee.
Ghosh committee?
Ghosh committee, yes.
Because fraud का discussion हो रहा, banks fraud.
Yes, ma'am.
किसको exclude किया है इसमें?
Regional rural bank.
Regional rural banks.
Yes.
Remember that if they ask just in case in the exam, तो फिर reporting to RBI in case of recommendations of the Ghosh committee for the bank's fraud is not applicable to regional rural bank. It is
Regional rural
applicable to all the scheduled commercial bank. Now, regarding the liability of accounting and auditing profession, the said circular provided. Now, see, RBI is not going to leave the auditor if you don't do your work well, right? As an auditor, because you are doing the audit of banks. So, if an accounting profession, whether in the course of internal or external auditor, or in the process of institutional audit, finds anything susceptible to fraud or fraudulent activity, or act of excess power or smell by foul play in any transaction, he should refer the matter to the regulator. Any deliberate failure on part of the auditor should render himself liable for action. Deliberately, if you fail to report anything which is about, like if you get to know about any fraudulent activity, if you feel that the transaction fraudulent kar raha hai entity, you need to report it to RBI. You have to know that you have this reporting requirement to RBI. And if you don't do that, then you will be held guilty of professional misconduct and RBI is going to take action on you. Are we clear, everyone?
Yes.
Now, then there are some basic knowledge that you will have to require with the laws or regulations, consideration of laws and regulation as per 240, 250. This is all in the CA final exam. Now, I want you to go to a topic of Can you confirm to me under the mode of creation of security, these six are there: lien, set off, assignment, hypothecation, pledge, and mortgage? Or is there more?
Yes, ma'am, 6 are there.
All six are there. Anything? I didn't miss anything. Okay. Now,
No.
because a lot of general discussion has happened, like I'm not saying it is not important for the exam, but to build up the things about the bank audit, you need to know that you have to go through all those topics. Now that general knowledge part is done, now let's take some tough topics. So when a borrower borrows money from the bank, in how many ways he can actually provide a security to a bank? Basically, this is what you are studying. Depending on the nature of items concerned, creation of security may take form of mortgage, pledge, hypothecation, assignment, set off, lien, as follows. Yes, everyone? Now, take 2 minutes break and then we will start with the topic. Now, everyone, please come back and let's do some writing practice here. I will dictate. Just give me a moment. Let me frame this example at the default. The first one is the company takes loan of rupees 5 crore by mortgaging its factory, land and building. खुद के फैक्ट्री का जो लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग है, they have given as a mortgage. 5 crore का लोन लिया है. Now the company has given property as security. Possession is still with the company only. But if they default, means they don't pay back the 5 crore loan, then bank can sell the property to recover the loan. That is your mortgage. Then what is the meaning of pledge?
Should we answer or
No, I'm giving you example.
okay?
Just write if you have this example, then nothing like it. Matlab that if it is already included in the books, then it is fine. But otherwise, if you don't have it, just write it. So based on the example, you will be able to learn the technical knowledge of this. So a jeweler borrows rupees 10 lakh from the bank. Actually, I could have made the example and made you guys tell me the meaning of it, right? I forgot. Gold ornaments. A jeweler borrows rupees 10 lakh from the bank pledging gold ornaments. Who has the physical possession? Physical possession
Jeweler.
is handed over to bank. If jeweler fails to repay, bank can sell the gold.
Yes, ma'am.
Hypothecation.
And in pledge, there is transfer of ownership also or not?
Dear, बिल्कुल समझ नहीं आ रहा है what?
And transfer of ownership takes place in pledge or not?
Transfer of owner, only the possession is given. Ownership will not be given to them.
Okay.
So in case of hypothecation, a car dealership takes working capital loan of rupees some 25 crores. That is a sanction limit. By hypothecating, it's a stock of cars. Who has the possession now? The dealership. The dealership retains possession of cars. But in case of default, bank has right to seize the assets and sell. Seize the stock and sell. Three are pending: assignment, set off, and leave. What is assignment? Any idea? What do you
Transfer
assign
of,
in assignment?
transfer of existing or future debt.
What?
Life insurance policy.
Life insurance policy. A company
In
takes loan and assign its insurance policy proceeds to the bank. If borrower defaults or dies, the insurance claim amount will be paid by insurance company directly to bank. Okay. Then what does it mean by set off? Suppose I have my bank account with the same bank and I have taken loan from the bank. I don't repay the loan. Bank uses the money that is there in my saving account to set it off. A customer has rupees 2 lakh in his saving account. In bank ABC. Also owes rupees 1.5 lakh to bank A. Normally they will not set off from the day one only. That doesn't make sense. किसी का saving account का पैसा थोड़ी you will finish it. So on default, bank A can set off the amount against the saving balance without customer's permission. What is mean by lien? Bank has lien over tell me the difference between set off and lien.
लीन मतलब किसी भी एसेट्स पे लीगल चार्ज होना।
Possession types हो गया. And set off is money wise.
Set off में they have done the set off from my saving account. In case of lien, I have some मेरे 4-5 FD हैं in that bank. 50,000 rupees, 60,000 rupees, this and that. And then at the same time, I have taken the loan from that bank. Now the bank marks the lien over the FD. I have taken the loan in terms of saying कि बाबा मेरे पास मेरा FD आपके पास में. Yes. So give me this loan. Bank will say okay. You cannot withdraw the FDs until the loan is repaid. सिर्फ इतना ही होने वाला. They cannot withdraw. What they are saying is you first repay entire loan and then you withdraw your FDs. Otherwise, we'll utilize that. If you don't prepay on time, then we can utilize your FDs against this. Yes. Here, customer deposits. No, customer makes FDs with bank and also takes short-term loan. What will happen now? Bank marks lien on FDs. That means that is customer cannot withdraw the FDs until loan is repaid. Done? Once you have done the example, then I'll go to the theoretical part of it.
Yes, ma'am. Credit card against FD is come under lien.
क्या जयांश?
Credit card against FD is come under lien.
क्या credit card under?
Against the FD.
Credit card against the FD?
Yes, ma'am.
Who takes credit card against the FD? For taking credit card, you don't need any saving bank account, FD or anything with the bank.
Yes, ma'am. But if a customer has very less financial information or ITR, they can take a credit card against the FD also.
Against the FD? अच्छा, bank issues FDs against the this क्या? Okay.
ओवरड्राफ्ट बोलते हैं उसे शायद में।
90% FD limit can be used.
Acha, okay. So basically, normally what they do is, if it is a business person or a salaried person, they issue credit card anyway. right? वो because उनको मालूम है कि recoverability होती है, but if the person doesn't have income or anything, because credit card issue के लिए they don't even need your income tax return anything. If you're a salaried person, they just need your employment details and they will issue credit card.
Yes, ma'am.
Are we all done? Have you left? Is there any part of the previous example left? Anyone?
मैम मैम
Tell ना क्या हुआ?
मैम सेट ऑफ में ऐसा भी है ना कि if one is a joint account and one is an individual account, they can't be set off.
They can't be. हाँ, then it can be set off in that way. Joint account से they won't do.
Okay.
Done, everyone? Now let's do the theory part of it. Yes. So depending on the nature of item concerned, creation of security may take the form of mortgage, pledge, hypothecation, assignment, set off, and lien as follows. Mortgage are the several kind, but most important are the registered mortgage and the equitable mortgage. What? No example, nothing. Pledge involves bailment or delivery of goods by the borrower to the lending bank with the intention of creating charge thereon as security for the advance. The legal ownership of the goods remain with the pledger while the lending bank gets certain defined interest in the good. The pledge of the goods constitute a specific or a fixed charge on the goods. Yes? Can you relate now to the example? Hypothecation. Hypothecation is the creation of equitable charge. On what? That is a charge created not by an express of enactment but the equity and reason, which is created in favor of lending bank by execution of hypothecation agreement in respect of the movable securities belonging to the borrower. Neither ownership possession is transferred to the bank. However, the borrower holds the physical possession of the goods as the agent or trustee of the bank. The borrower periodically submits the statement regarding the quantity and value of hypothecated assets, stocks, debtor to the lending banker on the basis of which the drawing power is borrowed. Now, I want all of you to tell me whether clause 2, Caro 2020, second point is related to this hypothecation as security. Everyone go to your clause 2 and confirm to me. Clause 2, Caro 2020.2.
Yes, ma'am. Working capital requirement. Estimated limit.
Yes, is it? What is the security that is given under clause 2?
Inventory.
They give inventory as a security, and whenever there is an inventory as a security, they have to submit what?
Quarterly statement.
Quarterly statements to the bank and financial institution. As an auditor, what was your responsibility? That you have to tally the amount as per that statement with the books of account. Yes, if not, they are not matching, then you have to investigate and tell the reason thereof. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to connect the dots?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the assignments represents a transfer of existing and future debt, rights or property belonging to a person in favor of another person. That means assignment represent a transfer of existing or future debt, right or property belonging to one person in favor of another person. LIC example. Only actionable claim, जैसे claims on any debt other than debt is secured by mortgage of immovable property, by hypothecation or pledge of movable property, such as book debts, life insurance policy are accepted by the bank as security. So मैं ये भी बोल सकती हूँ ना कि I can assign you my debtors. So whenever debtors pay, debtors won't pay me. Debtors will pay the bank directly. Yes, book debts. Then an assignment gives assignee absolute right over the money or debt assigned to him. Then comes the set-off. Set-off is a statutory right of a creditor to adjust wholly or partly debit balance in the debtor's account against any credit balance lying in the another account of the debtor. The right of set-off enables a bank to combine two accounts, a deposit account, loan account of the same person, provided both the accounts are in same name or same right. That is the capacity of account holder in both accounts. Both the accounts should be same. For the purpose of set-off, all the branches of a bank are treated as one single entity. So आप एक branch का दूसरे branch से भी आराम से कर सकते हो. The right of set-off can be exercised in respect of time barred debt also. What is lien? Lien is creation of legal charge with consent of owner, which gives lender a legal right to seize or dispose or liquidate the asset under the lien. Just go through the
Ma'am,
theory part of it, because in the exam you can't just write the example. You will have to write the theory of it.
ma'am, time bar date क्या होता
Time bar date मतलब अगर suppose the right just a second ना. Okay, so the time bar debt means, like for example, if there is a loan, like जिसके लिए ऐसा बोला है कि if you do not pay the loan, then within 1 year, bank can actually sue you and recover that amount. Now, suppose bank doesn't sue you within 1 year. आपने नहीं पेमेंट किया लोन का, बट बैंक ने आपको, बैंक हैज नॉट सूड यू इन अ 1 year, मतलब आपको 1 साल के अंदर कोई केस नहीं किया उसके ऊपर. नाउ द थिंग इज, in case of a set off, they are saying that in order to set off, you don't even have to see कि वो time barred था. अगर वो time barred हो गया है, still that amount can be set off against your loan. So you can forcefully recover it through the court even if it is time barred. That means it means.
Ma'am, in case of set off, there can be two separate banks who can set off against the liability of the person.
It has to be
No?
within that bank only. No one can set off. So, for
Okay.
example, if I have some money in my SBI account, SDFC people can't do that.
So, ma'am, in example, you gave two separate banks. No?
No, bank
It
A
was
only.
Bank ABC.
I
What?
wrote wrong क्या? नहीं, बैंक A लिखा. अच्छा, बैंक ABC, sorry, बैंक ABC I meant. This
Okay.
is bank. वो I forgot to write ABC completely. Done, guys? Are you feeling comfortable?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. This was important part. Now this is because important from the exam point of view. No.
Yes.
Now, come to this topic, guys. Just next topic, advances against consortium. In the class note, it will be on 10.11. Can you tell me what is advances against consortium? Just give me a moment. There is someone on the door. I'll be back. Huh? There is a business. There is business. Mr. A is CEO. उनका बोर्ड में डिसाइड हुआ that company is expanding, and for expansion they need 1,000 crores of loan debt they want to raise. Yes. So how they can raise this 1,000 crore of loan if they go only to SDFC Bank? SDFC Bank will right away say, see, 1,000 crore loan for just to one entity is like just too risky for me. If you don't repay, my 1,000 crores will be like, written off immediately. It will be NP and it's a big loss to me. How do I even manage my business? So what I do, there are other banks will come into the picture. SBI, then HSBC. They will say, okay, let's do what? All of us, let's split this 1,000 crores into 3 parts. Yes, 300, 300, and one said, okay, I can take 400 crore ka loan. See, Mr. A said, I don't care. HDFC, whatever you want to do, you do. But for me, I am only going to coordinate with you. You want to give me loan by jointly by three banks. You give me you transfer just 1,000 at one point of time, and I will connect with you. So this HDFC will be called as lead bank here. इसको क्या बोलेंगे? Lead bank. Lead bank will maintain all the relationship with the customer and everything. But जैसे ही ABC this Mr. A ने पैसा पे किया to HDFC और इंटरेस्ट पे किया, so principal plus interest, it will be HDFC bank responsibility to transfer the adequate amount or appropriate amount to SBI and HSBC, जितना शेयर उनका बनता है. Are we clear? Yes. Consortium arrangement, how does it go? So consortium advances means advancing loans to borrower by two or more banks jointly by performing a consortium. Joint appraisal, controls, monitoring will facilitate for exchange of valuable information among the banks. Usually a bank with higher share will lead the consortium. So for example, अपने example में who had the higher share? HSBC. So normally जो भी सबसे ज्यादा लोन देता, they will lead the entire consortium. Now, consortium advances be based on the record of recovery of the respective individual member banks and other aspects having bearing on the recoverability of the advances. Now, where the remittances by the borrower under consortium lending arrangements are pooled with one bank, or where the bank receive remittance is not parting with the share of other bank, the account should be treated as not serviced in the books of the other members bank and therefore not an NPA. Now, whatever Gyan was written about the NPA, let me explain you with the help of example. What happened? SDFC, SBI, and HSBC. SDFC said, I am lead, I am lead, I am lead. So let's all transfer the amount, respective amount to 400 CR, 300 CR, 300 CR to my account. I will give it to the borrower. Borrower will give the amount back to me, repayment, and then I will give you your share to your account. Yes. Now borrower paid timely to HDFC. HDFC did not transfer the share to SBI and HSBC on time. Now over 6 months happened. So SBI and HSBC are not getting the interest and the repayments. Should SBI and HSBC treat this loan as NPA, non-performing asset?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayank, Priyanka, everyone? इनको तो पैसा नहीं मिला ना, SBI and HSBC didn't get their money then?
Yes, ma'am. NPA हो जाएगा उसमें.
But borrower का क्या गलती है? Why are you declaring a borrower as a non-performing asset? He has paid timely basis पे. It is the mistake of SDFC bank. It is not the bank mistake of borrower. Borrower paid on a timely basis. Why are you punishing borrower by calling them as not performing asset? So that is what they are saying. If that happens, then the account will be treated as not serviced, and therefore, sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. No. Sorry, I said it wrong. Actually, the other banks are going to consider this as a NPA. But this is wrong on the... Oh. So the customer... Okay. No. You are right. All of you are right. Actually, it will be called as NPA by SBI and HSBC. But So but this is not because on the mistake of ABC, Mr. A, right? They paid timely. So now what has to happen? SBI and HSBC should make a very strong arrangement among themselves, express consent from the lead bank for the transfer of their shares of the recovery to ensure कि वो लोग properly classify उस asset को classify कर पाए उस asset को. Otherwise they will end up classifying that as a NPA incorrectly. Yes, everyone? Now, in case of drawing power allocation in respect of consortium cash credit account, the lead bank would be responsible for computing the drawing power of the borrower and allocate the same to the member bank. मतलब in this case उस बंदे का अगर suppose drawing power calculate करना है, so उस केस में SDFC will do that and then उसके बाद में वो SBI and HSBC को बता देगा कि this is the drawing power. Now, in certain special circumstances, at the request of borrower, the lead bank may allot a higher or lower share of drawing power to the member bank as against their share of advances. The pro forma DP allocation letter is presented hereunder for the reference. मतलब उन्होंने ये books में अब ऐसा नहीं ये module में दिया हुआ है. So what they are saying is जितना इन्होंने advances दिया है SBI ने and HSBC ने, तो अगर if SDFC wants, तो what they can do is against the share of SBI एंड HSBC वो इस मिस्टर ए को ज्यादा ड्राइंग पावर या लोअर ड्राइंग पावर भी दे सकते हैं. But before we go ahead and understand this all in detail, we have to understand, okay, what is meaning by the drawing power? Yes. Important for the exam point of view. Do you have the drawing power calculation as well?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So DP is important. Now, before I start, rather I would say I need you to excuse me today because I have my CA final marathon today. I need some time to prepare my material. So can we take this entire audit of bank in tomorrow's revision session, entire spaced repetition session? Whatever you have studied so far, whenever you get time, just revise it. If you can revise more from the audit of bank, revise it so that you are able to recall it tomorrow. But I'll cover rest of the important portion tomorrow in the tomorrow's revision. Yes, because it's a 11-hour long session. I need to have my material ready before. I hope you understand. And sorry, I started the class late. I was actually arranging my office area. I was arranging all my books and everything, and that is why I got late. But can you give me that moment, everyone? Yes.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
so
Yes,
much for
ma'am.
understanding. Then I'll see you tomorrow. What is the time I have decided for you guys? 11 p.m.,
11.
11 to 8 or 9?
8.
8, I think.
So it may extend till 9:30 also, guys. Please consider that because based on whatever we are studying, for example, the remaining topic of bank, chapter 9, all of that we are going to revise tomorrow. Chapter 8, 9, 10, and chapter 5 we are going to revise tomorrow, right? So all of these chapters are big chapter. They are going to take time. So can you, if possible, can you get up early and finish whatever FMSM and costing that you want to do in the morning itself? At least 3-4 hour session.
Yes.
So suppose you come with a practical knowledge, practical problem, you have solved FM or costing. So whenever you come back with for the audit class, you will feel like, okay, I have done the practical part. Now my mind is refreshed to do the theory, a lot of theory because of the bank audit, chapter 5, chapter 9 and all, right? But if you study audit in the morning, that you don't feel like participating in the class. And for having a 8-9 hour session, I need your participation. Otherwise it will look very dull. And we can't afford that, right? At least in the exam.
Yes.
Yes. Any question
Yes.
for me? So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 11. I'll try to come early over here so that I can, we can start absolutely on time. Works?
Okay, ma'am.
All
Yeah,
right.
okay,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice rest of the
Thank
day.
you, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.